Cardano has often been seen or has been said to be a threat to Bitcoin's dominance. I mean, don't they have different value propositions?
Yeah, and I don't view anybody as a threat to each other anymore. I mean,
Hey everyone, the crypto market just smashed through $4.2 trillion. And at this exact moment, while I'm recording, we're chilling at about $4.18 trillion. Sure, by the time this video goes live, it'll probably shift around a bit, but that's not even the juicy part I want to get into today. What everyone's really fixated on, and I mean everyone, is what's happening with altcoin prices right now. People are literally pulling up their charts and scratching their heads like, okay, hold up. Why isn't XRP moving like it used to? Where's HBAR's crazy pumps? Why aren't all these altcoins behaving the way they did during 2020 and 2021, or even throwing it back to 2017 and 2018? Everyone's wondering where those wild, heart-racing price swings went. So here's my take. Yeah, alt season hasn't fully unleashed itself yet, I'll give you that. I genuinely believe we're shooting ourselves in the foot by just staring at today's numbers. We need to pull back the lens and see what's unfolding across all of 2025. Think about it. Ever since election day, crypto basically flipped a switch. It's like we're watching this massive transformation where crypto is becoming a core piece of the worldwide financial puzzle right in front of us. And is adoption happening? It's heating up like wildfire. Sure, the big institutions are flooding in, but it's way beyond just them now. Huge enterprise level companies are embracing crypto on a massive scale. Governments themselves are literally shining a spotlight on it and declaring this is officially where finance is headed. Okay, so can we just talk about how insane this shift has been? Like, seriously, ever since the new year dropped, everything's been going absolutely wild. Just look at what's happening across all these markets, right? Crypto, boom, smashed through to a brand new all-time high. Tokenization, you guessed it, fresh all-time high. And stablecoins are at another all-time high right there. I mean, literally everywhere you look, we're watching adoption just skyrocket. The growth we're seeing is absolutely massive. This is screaming at us about what's coming next. But here's where it gets even crazier. Check out what just dropped. We've got this announcement directly from Brian Armstrong. This guy's the co-founder and CEO over at Coinbase, by the way. He's pumped about partnering up with Samsung to make crypto way more accessible for everyone. They're giving 75 million Samsung Galaxy users across the US completely free access to Coinbase One to get them started. And they've gone all in integrating Samsung Pay, so literally every single Coinbase user in the US can jump in and buy crypto through that now. We're talking about a massive integration here with one of the biggest companies on the entire planet. All right, so here's the thing about Samsung. We're not talking about some random company nobody's heard of, okay? This is a massive retail powerhouse rocking over 759,000 followers online. Like, seriously, whether you're in the US or anywhere else on this planet, chances are you've got a Samsung something chilling in your house right now, or you're scrolling through your Samsung phone as we speak. This move from Coinbase, it's genuinely huge, my friends, and here's what it's really telling us. Crypto isn't some niche thing anymore. It's literally becoming part of how we live our lives day to day. But hold up, because it doesn't even stop there. We literally just got hit with another bombshell announcement. And this one went down live on CNBC of all places. They actually broadcasted on national television that Walmart is jumping in and accepting Bitcoin and crypto payments through One Way or One Pay Cash now. We're looking at a platform with over 150 million users right there. Like, pause for a moment and really think about that scale. Listen to this.
And just the ease of which, regular folks, people who, go to Walmart, there are 150 million Americans who use Walmart online or in person every week, can now actually have crypto in the very same app. They can buy it, they can hold it, they can store it, they can trade it if they want. And then when they want to go pay for something, they can, turn it into cash and like we said, go, OnePay is actually integrated into the checkouts of Walmart. So it is, I think, a milestone in that case, Carl.
All right, Hugh, thank you.
This is just another mind-blowing integration happening right in front of us. And guess what? We're talking Walmart here. I mean, 150 million users, but listen, if we zoom out and really process what's going down here, this isn't some random crypto partnership with a little mom and pop shop somewhere. We're talking about freaking Walmart. You know, the retail giant that's been dominating for decades with this absolutely insane customer reach that's now getting their first real taste of cryptocurrency. We are literally witnessing crypto spreading like wildfire to millions upon millions of fresh faces who have never touched it before. And the way it's getting baked into everyday life, we are getting ridiculously close. Like seriously, so ridiculously close to hitting that mass adoption sweet spot. Now, think about everything happening simultaneously here, all right? Stablecoins sliding into traditional banks and major corporations. We've got PayPal, USDC, PayPal's very own stablecoin. Like, pause for a moment and realize how insane that actually sounds. Just repeating those words out loud feels surreal. PayPal literally launched their own stablecoin. We are watching stablecoins evolve into this absolutely critical component of worldwide finance. Regular everyday people are legitimately using stablecoins right now to move money internationally without breaking a sweat. And we're also watching tokenization of stocks unfold in real time. We're watching tokenization of real estate actually happening right now. All of these massive building blocks getting embedded into mobile phones, teaming up with giant telecom companies and huge enterprise corporations, institutional titans rolling out their very own stablecoins from the ground up. Every single one of these moves is pointing us toward one absolutely game-changing moment for the entire crypto world. And that's the glorious day when most of these altcoins finally cut the cord and stop being completely dependent on Bitcoin's mood swings or even Ethereum's price action. Just recently, Charles Hoskinson was breaking down, how crypto is literally going to transform into the foundational infrastructure of our whole financial system. But he also dove into how we're crossing the threshold into this completely fresh chapter for cryptocurrency altogether. Thanks to Riz XRP for snagging these two fire video clips. Seriously, you need to listen to this.
What I find interesting is that Cardano has often been seen or has been said to be a threat to Bitcoin's dominance. I mean, don't they have different value propositions?
Yeah, and I don't view anybody as a threat to each other anymore. I mean, the big challenge for us is we kind of won. We're like the dog as an industry that kept chasing the car and finally catches it, and it doesn't know what to do with the car. So the regulators have finally embraced us. We're talking to the Federal Reserve. We're talking to the SEC on favorable terms as an industry, and now we need to reconcile the legacy world and the DeFi world and bring them together and just have FI, next generation finance. So everybody has a role to play in that, whether you're Bitcoin or Ethereum or Cardano. It's going to take a little bit of time to figure out how to do compliance and what privacy looks like and how global settlement's going to work. Like every securities law has to be rewritten for
So you're talking about a coexistence
Yes.
between traditional finance and what we have right now, what you represent. I just had a conversation with Vlad Tenev of Robinhood. He talks about how cryptocurrencies will be the backbone of the financial system.
Yeah.
Will it be?
I think so. I mean, tokens are like financial stem cells. They could be heart cells and brain cells, and so they can be securities or commodities or currencies or intellectual property. And having T0 24/7 global settlement with full programmability is a really powerful thing. The only thing we're missing is selective disclosure and rational privacy. You need to have the ability to do private smart contracts to sort out the private side from the public side, and that's where the industry's at right now, solving that last mile problem. Once you have it, you can pull everything together, and then you can be a superset to broker-dealers and superset to custodians and all this other stuff that runs the legacy world. And at that point, there's no reason to run on the legacy systems. You want to run the crypto systems because there's far more liquidity.
And when will that happen?
Within the next 3 to 5 years. And the big challenge was regulation, but the regulation's getting done. Clarity Act will probably be passed in October, and then it'll be about 2 to 3 years of rulemaking between the SEC and the CFTC, and then every jurisdiction, the MiCA framework in Europe, or Abu Dhabi's ADGM, or here the Singapore Monetary Authority, will have to be interoperable with that financial set. And it's not going to just talk about tokens, it's going to talk about securities laws and taxes and custodial standards, and then we as an industry can adapt our software accordingly, and then all the securities will enter in. That's $10 trillion on the blockchain space, and then everything else is the sky's the limit. So we've basically won as an industry.
That's where crypto steps in. It's basically this revolutionary upgrade we've all been waiting for. But what's fascinating is this. While we're analyzing today's financial landscape, some really strategic moves are unfolding to completely reinvent how this whole system operates. Like, take ISO 2022 as an example. We're witnessing massive overhauls to the entire messaging framework. Then there's crypto getting deeply embedded into finance itself, right? It's fundamentally reshaping how money flows, how the entire concept of money works. And tokenization, dude, tokenization is turning everything we knew on its head. The stock market, revolutionized, property, and real estate totally transformed. I'm talking about every single aspect of finance getting absolutely disrupted by crypto technology. So essentially, crypto is becoming this brand new infrastructure foundation for our whole financial ecosystem. So yeah, what he's saying, dead on accurate. And it really comes down to several crucial elements. Regulations, that's truly the central focus right now. Worldwide regulations have become incredibly important. Here in the US, we've been closely watching how both the Clarity Act and the Genius Act are really pushing forward. We already saw the Genius Act pass in July, which was monumentally huge. Seriously, well, obviously, all attention shifted toward the Clarity Act. So jumping over here real quick, we've got Clarity following Genius, and yeah, this is Charles Hoskinson discussing this whole situation again. Listen to this.
I want to get you to look into the crystal ball in terms of pricing. Where do you think Bitcoin is going? And link to that, where Ethereum is headed.
Yeah. So I think all the alts are going to enjoy a nice spike, but typically there's a lag. So Bitcoin goes up, it stalls, and then the alts come up, and then the market goes down, it reaches a new plateau. We sit there for a few years, and then we go up. Those cycles were retail driven, and they were every 4 years. But now that we have all this institutional involvement, we have things like the Clarity Act coming, you're going to have probably another 500 million to 1 billion users entering the space as the Magnificent Seven come in, and they integrate crypto.
When you really sit back and think about it, I genuinely believe we're stepping away from those crazy speculative cycles, right? Like, I feel like we're actually entering this whole new utility era for crypto. You know what I mean? So he's breaking down the cycle itself, and where we're sitting right now, I think this might be the last traditional crypto cycle as we know it, especially compared to what we've seen before. Moving forward, utility is going to be the name of the game. I think we've already started seeing that shift happen. Here's what's wild. Some of the biggest gains we've seen this cycle, they've come from utility-based projects anyway. That's becoming the dominant story here, you know? I truly believe that utility is paving the way for crypto to not just get adopted everywhere, but actually woven into the entire US financial system. But wait, there's more to it. I feel like it's also opening doors for massive growth in specific areas. Think about it. How we use stablecoins, how we leverage tokenization, none of this stuff would even be possible without utility, right? So the fact that this space is transforming the way it is, it all comes back to the technology these utility-based projects are bringing to the table. So listen up. XRP is literally sitting at number 1 on my list right now. With everything that's unfolding around ISO 2022, how could it not be? And for those of you who've been paying attention, yes, November this year, we're talking next month. Next month is when we hit that crucial cutoff point. Mark your calendars for November 22nd, 2025, because that's when the coexistence period officially comes to an end. And trust me, this is going to kick off an absolutely massive wave of ISO 2022 adoption, unlike anything we've witnessed before. But here's the thing, right? We've also got to talk about what's happening in the US. The US has basically been shouting from the rooftops that crypto is our future. They've been hammering this message home for quite some time now. Take us back to August 1st, right? That's when Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent came out and declared that the US has officially entered the golden age of crypto. Under our president's leadership, we're diving headfirst into exploring fresh possibilities with decentralized computing and digital payments to really unleash what blockchain technology can do. So his call to action is crystal clear. Build your companies here, deploy your protocols here, bring your workers here, because their mission is laser focused on guaranteeing that the US claims its throne as the crypto capital of the planet. When you stack this up against what the White House actually announced, and we're going all the way back to early September, I'm pretty confident that's when they dropped this news. You know what? We know for a fact now that the US government is going all in on crypto. They're looking to dive into crypto in a seriously massive way. I'm talking about that Strengthening American Leadership in Digital Financial Technology PDF document. That document alone basically gave us a complete roadmap of where we're going, where the US is planning to integrate all of these innovations. They're ready to jump into DeFi with both feet. They're going full steam ahead into tokenization, and I gotta say, this is absolutely insane. We've been hearing whispers about this from huge institutions like the BIS, and if you don't know, that's basically the central bank of central banks, the big boss. And they're straight up saying the next evolution of our entire monetary and financial system, it's being built around tokenization and these tokenized platforms. This isn't speculation anymore, people. This is the future unfolding. And yo, stablecoins are a massive piece of this puzzle too. We're talking about the whole crypto ecosystem here, and it's coming directly from a powerhouse global organization that literally shapes our entire financial infrastructure worldwide. So when you step back and look at the big picture of what's actually going down here, there's this gigantic stage being constructed right before our eyes where utility projects are positioned to dominate the future, fully welcomed, fully integrated, becoming the absolute trailblazers of this industry as we move ahead. Here's what I genuinely believe. Once this cycle completes, crypto regulation is happening across the board. Full mainstream adoption is inevitable at this point. Utility-based products are going to skyrocket in value because the real-world usage at scale is going to be absolutely mind-blowing. So yeah, that's everything I wanted to share today. Really hoping you guys got something valuable from this video. If you vibed with it, go ahead and drop a like, smash subscribe, flip on those notifications because I've got tons more free content dropping soon. I appreciate you watching. See you in the next one.